But you know the problem is?
Yeah.
It's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to put into the Super Bowl something that, quite frankly, is reserved for the church?
The FBI, like I just said, gathered extensive proof of Epstein's abuse of underage girls, but says insufficient evidence that he operated a broader trafficking ring involving other powerful men. But there's, like I said, tons of redacted emails.
Hey everyone, welcome to Between Sundays podcast. I am your host, Dale Satram, and I'm here with my two amazing, phenomenal, spontaneous, loquacious, there's a word to look up, co-host, Katie
Keep
Jones.
going, no.
Yeah, keep going. Tell
Hey,
me more.
guys.
Katie Jones, Jeremy Laura.
Let's go. Let's go.
This is
back.
the place
I
where we
love
try
it.
to figure out how to follow Jesus between the Sundays.
Yeah.
In this crazy world that we live in, and how do we do it? And so we talk about the messy here, or we talk about the real, and so we just try to figure it out, and we try to have some fun while we're doing it. So,
Amen.
amen. How are we doing today, guys?
Oh, we're doing good.
Yeah,
See, look at me, it's
amazing. We're
speaking for
doing
Jerry.
good. God, I'm doing good.
You can answer for him anytime you want.
I know. For real.
I'm good. How are you, Jeremy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Are you guys up to anything this weekend? Doing anything fun?
You know, Saturdays I have long runs. So I had a long run that takes up a chunk of
Okay.
time. I did
On Valentine's Day, this Saturday.
Oh,
probably, this coming weekend you're asking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yep. I'm supposed to do a long run this coming Saturday as well.
Really?
But nothing crazy exciting.
Okay, so heads up to
Yes.
especially the dudes
It's a good
Yeah.
reminder.
that are out there.
Heck,
Saturday, it's Valentine's Day.
Get some flowers.
I
You're
can
welcome.
almost guarantee you, your wife, your girlfriend, or significant other already knows it's Valentine's Day. Here is your warning. Here is your moment of accountability. Don't screw it up.
You can thank us in the comments.
All right, there we go.
Yes. What are you guys doing for Valentine's?
It's a surprise.
Oh,
So
okay.
you know
Oh,
what?
we can't record
We'll
it then.
keep all-
I know. I don't want her to know.
All right.
But
Okay, Jeremy has something planned.
we're gonna
That's good.
stay somewhere from the 13th to the 14th, somewhere
Love
else.
that.
You're in
Love
Oregon,
that,
Go.
you
so
guys. That's
a
awesome.
little
Good
trip.
job.
A little
Very
trip.
nice.
So
You newlyweds, you.
I know it's her first one, so I have to
Oh,
be
Oh,
out
yeah.
of the
yeah, you gotta
ballpark
set
for
that
it. So
bar.
gotta
There you
set.
go.
So we'll see about
I love
next
that.
year. So I don't know how high the bar can go anymore. So
Uh-huh.
we'll see. But
That's awesome.
Mhm.
We're actually watching a friend's kiddo, so they can go on a date. I just realized, but
I
we're
see.
swapping, so we'll celebrate on the 15th.
All right,
we're
well,
just
that's
in that
cool.
season, you
That's
know.
all. No, you
Yeah.
can move
We're
things around. Doesn't have
weird.
to be on the day as
Right.
long as expectations are communicated up front,
Yep.
which is
what
what,
are you
I did.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I did. We had a conversation the other day. I sat down and said, all right, baby. I mean, come on. We've been together a couple of years. All right? I was doing
I like that,
Valentine's
I like
Day with
that,
this
yeah.
girl for a long time. So,
Love it.
uh-huh. And so I said,
What
well,
do you want from me?
that's pretty much what I asked. I mean, I don't want to leave things to any mystery here or
Right.
assumptions. So
Probably wise.
I go,
Yeah.
this is, hey, Valentine's Day Saturday. You know it. I know it. So let's just get the cards on the table.
That's
And so
very
what are your,
romantic of
what
you,
are your,
Dale.
oh, I know.
I know.
What are your
direct,
expectations?
straightforward.
I tell you what's not romantic is screwing it up. So I've learned just
Have
to
you,
ask.
I was gonna say, have you had that experience?
I'm pretty good with it. To be honest
Yeah, I
with
was
you.
gonna say. I feel like you'd probably be on top
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah. Because I asked her, and I says, I'll do whatever you want. I mean, you want romance? You want, something big? You want something subtle? I'm your guy for whatever.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
all right, pastor. All right. Yeah.
I love it. I love that for you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we just, no, she didn't really care about Saturday. We cared more about the weekend and when's the best time to spend time together, where we get the most out of it. And so, we had all that worked out, and we're just going to go do something simple, and going to go out probably to a place to get some live music and just something simple
Oh,
to
that'd be
eat.
fun.
And,
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
just enjoy some time together. That's what we care about.
Yeah, I love that.
Right.
I love it.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
So
It
I
sounds
know
like
it's
you
a
guys are
win
doing
because
good on
we've
that.
already
Yeah.
identified the expectations. And,
Yeah.
now if I screw it up,
I know.
go.
You know,
Okay.
you guys, we were checking out, just seeing where our growth's at. All the dudes are on YouTube. So I'm curious. I know, and it's not just directed at dudes, but I do feel like after, there's almost like a reputation with marriage. Like, oh yeah, like it's not a big deal anymore. But there's certain couples that really keep it though. Like, and so I'm curious what kind of factors lead to that? I know it's a lot, like different seasons, you go through different things.
Yeah, but you got to find out what's important to your spouse.
Exactly. Yes.
And so there are certain things that are way more important to my wife than Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So-
the same way.
Right. So, this year in June is going to be our 39th wedding anniversary, but the following one is 40. Now, I guarantee you there are some high expectations for the 40th. I mean, high.
As there should be.
I mean, high
It's a
as the
big
heavens are.
accomplishment,
Okay,
yeah.
they're high. And so we're already talking about them now.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the things, well, it'll be a trip that we're taking, that we're planning together. But the other thing is that every 10 years, my wife gets a ring. Every 10 years, I've gotten her a ring, and we go to a certain restaurant, and it's the restaurant where I proposed to her. And so every 10 years, we go back, and I give her another ring.
That's cool.
That is very
And
special.
believe you me, she expects that.
Let's go. So do you
Set that
guys
bar,
go to
there's
McDonald's
no
every
going
10 years?
Ouch! Oh.
Let's go. Get some
No.
chicken nuggets
No.
on the side. Can I get that
I
ice
stick
cream
the ring
for
in the
$1?
nuggets. No.
And the bag of fries at the bottom.
That's lame. No. No, I am a little higher, but I'm
Red Robin, then my
I'm not
bad.
even going to tell you where we're going to go.
That is so funny.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
You guys are
That's
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
No, you're preaching it though. I can't remember if I said this on the podcast or not, but let me tell you guys, I this is probably like my top 4 moments. My husband does a lot of great things, but when I went to Pennsylvania this last time, I came home to a spotless house.
Yeah,
He
let's
cleaned
go.
it better than I cleaned it.
Boom.
I mean like scrubbed the floors, nothing was out. And that is my love language. I love the tasks. I love that.
Did you thank him?
Of course I did. And you know what? It's funny because we have completely opposite love languages. He is all physical touch. Give me a hug,
Why-
hold my hand.
That's why I asked.
Yep. I am like, you know what? Holding hands is great, but wash the dishes. So yeah, well done. If you know your spouse well, it definitely can turn out well for you as well. So
Amen.
Thank you
All
for
right,
that. Thank you so
yeah.
much for that.
you're welcome. Yes. Any hoodle.
We're having fun today. They can already tell. These guys are in a good mood.
What
Yeah,
are we talking
are.
about today?
Well, if this is your first time listening, you are at the current events full stop episode. We
Yes.
talk about what everyone is talking about, and actually there's so many things that everyone is talking about. That's kind of the big thing today, because usually we try to find something where not enough people are talking about it, but today we're going to talk about 2 things that
Yep.
people are talking about a lot, and then we always finish with a little good news for you guys, so
Yeah.
you can just hold on tight if you need the good news. It's always at the end. So
All right. Let's
okay.
do it.
All right, let's get into it. So everyone be talking about the Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance.
Let's go.
Okay, we'll do it.
Vámonos.
Let's go.
Rapido. Come on.
Okay, so let me just get over the sides really quick. So there's half people saying it was a celebration of culture, representation, the good aspects. You know, he had the Together We Are America. The only thing more powerful than hate is love. He also said, God bless America. The other side is really upset about none of it was in English. Our president said it was one of the worst ever. And then it's politically charged, divisive, un-American. That's what people are saying. So, the big question I have for you guys is, has the Super Bowl ever been a wholesome performance? Like, has it ever been like oh, yes, this is 100% like family friendly. There's no secular or anything. I just don't know why people are so surprised. I don't know why we spend our emotional energy on this personally, but I would love to hear what you guys think.
I agree, Katie. I was
There's a
going to
lot
jump
to
in.
say
Come
there.
on.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. There's just so many more important things to worry about than this. Was the Super Bowl ever wholesome?
Yeah.
Since I have a couple of extra decades on you guys.
Oh, okay. Maybe
Okay.
it was at some point.
Well, it wasn't. There was a shift. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you go back to the whole Janet Jackson thing from that moment on.
that
yeah.
it
was
kinda
a staple
shifted.
in my childhood. I was just...
That's a core
Someone-
memory actually for
I call it
Katie.
memory.
Core memory,
I'm so
yeah.
sorry.
I do
You're
remember
still in
that.
therapy.
They're still in therapy.
Was that the turn?
Some people think
You
so.
think?
It could have been.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't. Is that why you watch the Super Bowl? Is it's wholesome? People watch it for the sports. If you're a
Right.
sports fan, you watch the Super Bowl. You know, I could care less about the halftime shows pretty much forever. You know, they have a show, they have a band, they had better performers on there than others. Yes, the last few years, I'm tired of you know, some of the stuff that they do. I mean, how many? I'm trying to find the right words for a podcast, but anyway. Yeah, I guess it could get a little bit raunchy. I don't
that's
think
the word. Yeah,
that's the word I'm looking for. You know, so sometimes I wouldn't even watch it. You just turn it off anyway, or time to go get more food in the kitchen. So who cares? I'm there to watch the game. So you know, and then everybody just goes nuts over Bad Bunny, and then we have to have an alternative, and it's just like, oh my gosh, do we have to invest so much energy? I just want to watch football.
Yeah. No, I mean,
do I have to make a statement? Does it have to be a political statement? Does there have to be a Christian statement? Does there have to be a faith response? I mean, really?
Yeah.
Can I just watch football? For crying out loud.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jeremy, I'm sorry.
Jeremy probably loved that performance.
Why? Is it because I'm proud?
It's because it was in Spanish.
Well,
you understood it. You're the only one who understood it.
No, I can't really understand Bad Bunny like that. I mean, it's like an English rapper here, you know. They say words. I'm like, I don't know what they just said. You know, it's the same way, but yeah, I don't know. It's like you said, it's just raunchy. Both, because I watch both. I watched both, and so I originally watched the Turning Point one, and then I went back to watch the Bad Bunny one. And I was like, so either side is not representing the Lord at all. And so there's pros and cons of each and everything, but it was very political on both sides and everything. And so the whole goal, you know, of Turning Point was to have worship leaders like Corin Asbury and Forrest Frank to lead worship. But once they kind of dipped out because it got too political, then you had some artists singing other people's songs and trying to entertain. But I'm not a big country guy, so that was, I'm just not a big country guy. But I know Kid Love, what is his name? Kid Rock?
That guy. Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. So try to watch that. I will say the girl performance in that was pretty good. She did a great job. Yeah. Kid Rock, I was like, I don't know why I'm watching this.
Float your boat, I get it, I mean, so that's why music and all this stuff is very subjective.
Right.
And then after a while, I don't know. I watch a Super Bowl. I'm with a group of people. I want to have a good time.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm there to have a good time. I'm there to laugh. I'm there to, there's energy, and so I don't know if the Turning Point thing was a little overhyped. I don't know what I was expecting, because
I don't think anybody was.
Yeah, there's this alternative to the Super Bowl. So I'm like, yeah, come on. I was just ready for some good old God and country stuff, I mean, I didn't know what to expect. Maybe I went in with the wrong expectation, but the thing started, and I'm like, just waiting for it to get exciting. And it was just people singing. Well, that's okay if it just didn't seem to be that's what they promoted, or at least that wasn't my impression. So I kind of kept waiting for it to get something.
And the other side of Bad Bunny is raunchy. You have gay dudes kind of grinding with each other, and then you have a lot of people twerking, and it's not like very family appropriate, but the past couple of Super it hasn't been appropriate for a while, and so. It was interesting that people got married, though, and actually got married in it by a pastor. So they interviewed the pastor afterwards a little bit, and he's like, well, I was just super grateful to be able to show people Jesus and just show my faith in that. And there's a lot of discussion of that, of, as the pastor and want to share your faith, about Jesus, does Bad Bunny also see love in that same way? How is that kind of contrast? So people are trying to understand of like, okay, how does that kind of understand? Because, Bad Bunny's view of that is very different than what, that pastor's view is, obviously. And so it was all kind of mixed in and everything. People were trying to pull Jesus out of both sides, and it's like both sides didn't really represent Jesus, unfortunately. So it was
not the climate right now, though. I mean,
it is,
but the problem is, it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to put into the Super Bowl something that, quite frankly, is reserved for the church? All right, it's a Super Bowl. It's a secular event. Oh, let's cram Jesus in there, and we're going to make it something more. What? Can you even do that?
Yeah.
I mean, we represent Jesus individually out there in the world, and so go to the Super Bowl, represent Jesus, whatever that looks like. Okay, but all of a sudden to take a Super Bowl, and this is why everybody gets upset. It's a Super Bowl. They're there to watch a game. Mm-hmm. So whether you make it political, you make it religious, you make it something else than what the point of the event is, then it just makes everybody upset. How about we just stick to what it is? It's just a party. It's a big party. Mm-hmm. Stop.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain artists that probably could represent Jesus. Well, I mean, you look at Jelly Roll, who, accepts award. He goes to awards things, which has nothing to do with Jesus, but he always is grateful to God. So I feel like, it's not something that we as Christians should expect from a secular event.
That's what I mean. What are these expectations? We expect Bad Bunny to not be bad. We expect, all right,
right,
or we expect a highly faith-oriented message or singing, and it's like, well, is that? I don't know.
And again, we don't have to spend a ton of time on it. I think it's hard because I go back and forth because I'm like, there's nothing really to be upset. I don't expect any more at this point. Like I'm not. My expectations aren't high enough for me to be upset about this. But I also feel like it is sad because I do think artists back in the day did have more, like they had this, it's like a work of art. You think of, I think of Michael Jackson, I think of Whitney Houston, like this real talent. There's a few artists that are still great, but it's kind of morphed into there's Sexy Red, these rappers that just like are so like blatantly vulgar. So I can understand you want to watch the Super Bowl with your kids, the halftime, you want it to be family friendly. But I would love to get there. I'm not saying we just give up and be like, no, just do whatever you want. Like, I'm not going to say anything about it. But I also, I don't want to spend this much emotional energy. Like, people are really
I know,
just getting into. I'm like,
why do you care so much? I'm surprised too. Why do we care?
Yeah.
I got people around me I need to love. I've got a community that we need to serve. I got a church that needs help. I got all this stuff right around me where I can make a difference. You're getting all worked up over a Super Bowl? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Go make a difference in your backyard. That's where you have influence.
Go pull those weeds.
I'm never going to influence who they have for a Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
Okay. So
for sure.
I don't know.
Okay, well, do you guys have anything else you wanna?
People will move on from this in a week.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, they'll move on.
By the time this is out, you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, that's
old news."
We birthed both sides, pretty much. So.
Okay, well, let's get into something that hopefully isn't going away in the next couple days. It's the Epstein update.
Woo!
One
more round of Epstein. Here we go.
Man, it's a big one. It's over 3 million pages.
Wow.
Including photos, documents, recordings compiled into investigations around the sexual crimes in the network. And they did make a new law about the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which I think is why they dropped all these, but it's really wreaking havoc because people are trying to go through these. There's a ton of redacted stuff. So it's like, what are we looking at? We don't know. We don't know what we're looking at. People kind of jump to conclusions. You have the pendulum both ways. This is nothing. You have the FBI saying there is no sex trafficking ring. There's no involvement with like high profile people, and people are just eating that up. And then you have people that are going so far down and coming to conclusions that aren't necessarily there too. So it's just a big old mess. But anyways, yes. So the FBI, like I just said, gathered extensive proof of Epstein's abuse of underage girls, but says insufficient evidence that he operated a broader trafficking ring involving other powerful men. But there's, like I said, tons of redacted emails. So names of likely incriminated men surfaced, reportedly revealing 6 individuals who are likely incriminated in wrongdoing connected to his network. Ghislaine has pled the 5th, declining to answer questions. U.S. Democrats have introduced a bill called Virginia's Law, eliminating the statute of limitations for sex trafficking crimes. High-profile figures like Prince Andrew and government officials that are listed here are under scrutiny due to ties. But anyways, millions of pages are still being reviewed. Some files are heavily redacted. Investigations and legislative efforts continue around. So
have you ever looked up some of the files?
I have chosen not to right now.
Oh, okay.
But it is kind of on my to-do. I think I will do it eventually, but I would like to be in like a really good
headspace.
Yeah.
It's hard to look through files. You can search. I did briefly.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to see. Go there and I mean, you can use all kinds of search engines and you can use AI and all kinds of stuff. So just search names. And then you bring up all these files, but it's a little overwhelming because you're reading what seems like random emails and random correspondence, and there's redactions, and there's just it's not as easy to read it as you think. So then I get bored fast.
Yeah. I was gonna say I imagine it will take a lot of combing. That the average citizen, we already have terrible attention spans, obviously.
Right. I just proved that.
I'm with you on that one. But I think you're onto something though, because I think it would be good for people to go themselves to it instead of just looking to your favorite influencer or anything. Because again, those people, we're all human. We make mistakes. People let their emotions get the best of them. Sometimes we all are guilty of that. But it is, I am not shocked if I'm not surprised at the evil that people are saying. Like, it doesn't shock me to think that there are some really sick people at the top that have done sick things. It's not a shock to me.
No.
But I also, I think people can be like, oh, this person was involved because of this email. And we don't know that for sure either. So, but I want anybody held accountable, Republican or Democrat. It doesn't matter. If you're hurting kids and girls, you should be absolutely.
Well, that's where my cynical part of me comes in. Is where is there justice?
Yeah.
And not that I say there's not going to be, but again, I'm like, they've had years where the Justice Department has been able to go through these emails. Millions of them, and I'm like, well, who gets arrested? Where's the justice? And so now you made them all public, and is that going to change anything? Is anybody going to go to jail? Is anybody going to be indicted? Is anybody going to go to trial? Is anybody? I not to just be negative Nelly here, but it's not like we have a great track record of bad people getting held accountable for bad behavior.
Sure.
So I guess I'm just kind of holding my breath. Like, okay, you made all this public. Does it change anything?
Yeah, there's just been so much, I feel like, betrayal of our trust, too, because even this administration, nothing to see, it's a Democratic hoax, and then all of a sudden, but we knew it wasn't, even when they said that,
right.
And what a slap in the face of the victims that suffered.
Sure,
so, like, there's already that frustration, like, we're blatantly being lied to, and then, like, you're crazy if you think there's a sex trafficking ring. Are we? Like, I don't.
Well, we know that sex trafficking is so pervasive. It is global. It's a global system, and we knew that before the Epstein files.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so so I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff doesn't create more hope in me. It's like a lot of people they it's finally coming out. It's finally going to happen, and I want to believe that people will be held accountable, but I just don't. You want to talk about, what does the Bible want to see happen? Well, of course, God's a God of justice. He wants justice. People should be held accountable. Crimes should be punished. That is the role of government. We talked about that plenty of times in here. But when the government no longer punishes people, when it doesn't bear the sword, as Scripture says, then evil flourishes.
Yeah.
That's what we got. That's what you get.
Yeah.
So we have the results of evil being protected, and we know that it is being protected. There's different levels of justice. Okay, I go out and do something, I'm going to get hammered. Other people that are rich and they have money and they have resources, you get to go do what you want.
Yeah.
Come on, that's how it plays out.
Yes. Silver lining, if I had to look at this, this could be a great thing for Americans to unite over. It's very this is completely not one side or another. They're both guilty. Like, it doesn't matter which side, like whatever political affiliation, like there's guilty people on both sides. So, but I feel like a culture that stands up for kids and like that's an important one too. So I do feel like your voice can make a difference. I think when you stop talking about something at this level, you do kind of, it's really easy for them to be like, oh, they don't care about it, you know? So there's power in voices too.
I agree, Katie. You made a comment about, is this something that we could unite over? And I've heard that argument several times from other people, you know, because you know, some of this stuff is so horrific. How could it not unite us, no matter what side of the political fence you are? If we're talking about, you know, children, and we're talking about, you know, child sex trafficking, and I mean, how could that not unite us? And again, I don't mean to be skeptical, but I am. Okay, I mean, I'm just gonna say, you know, I'm a Gen Xer. We're the most untrusting generation the world has ever seen. Okay, so we come by it naturally, but. Anyway,
gotta rap. Yeah,
we got to rap. I might as well embrace it, right? Oh my gosh, I question if that's even enough to unite us. That's how divided I think the country is. See, because here we're going to support kids already going in and, you know, having sex changes and transitioning and taking drugs and having surgeries without their parents' permission already. We're all, there's a segment of society that already thinks that's okay.
Right.
And so, you know, you go in and you can have an abortion with, you know, at what, you know, 12 years old without your parents' permission or whatever it is. Okay, so there's all kinds of things where we don't protect children anyway, as it is. And so there's a part of me that goes, really? This is going to unite us? I mean, I hope it does. I hope there's enough people who rise up and say, this is not okay. But I don't feel like there's a huge part of our culture that doesn't protect children already.
That is very true.
So my skepticism is, I don't know, what is going to come out in these Epstein files that's going to be more horrific than what we already know? And is this just going to get kind of blown over and people are going to get all worked up again and they're going to keep looking at the emails and nothing's really going to happen and no one's going to get arrested? And okay.
I think there's an element in our brains too where we hear something so horrendous, it's really hard to accept it as reality. It's hard to accept that somebody that has, you know, that much power is doing such heinous crimes to people, to especially kids. So I guess, what would you say though? I know you're cynical, but I want people to still have, because I think if we all adapt that cynicism and we're like, oh, it's just that is what they are, that there will not be change because we are already thinking that, you know. So what's the solution here? Help me out.
Come on, Pastor.
I like to think there's enough people out there that know this is not okay and they need to see people be held accountable. And I do think it could happen if enough people, I mean, there's strength in unity. But
so my cynical side aside.
So let's leave aside the people that are okay.
I still believe in Jesus. I still believe in the Bible and that God transforms lives. I mean, so don't throw me to the curb yet. Yeah. I got my dark side, okay? And then I got Jesus. And he says, come on, stay in the game, buddy. Come on.
Keep it real here. We had a real moment.
No, yeah, we did. But, you know, at the same part of this is that humanity is broken. There is a sinfulness that exists in the human race, and that's not going away. There's a darkness that's there. That's why we need Jesus. That's why there's a Savior. That's why he came to save the world. That's why he died on the cross. You know, so I don't know. The answer still goes full circle that what's going to change our society, I don't think it's going to be an event. I don't think it's going to be the revelation of how evil certain people are. I think it goes back to the gospel. Until people's hearts are changed, you're not going to see widespread change. I mean, the gospel is still the answer. The human heart has to be transformed. Otherwise, you know, the Bible says the heart's deceitful above all else and it's incurably wicked. Well, that's the Bible's definition of the human heart. Without Jesus, that's what it is. So, again, there's a spiritual reality. I think I'm just accepting. Everybody wants this to change. I want it to change, but I don't know how much change can you embrace without the heart changing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that could look different for anybody, but
Sure.
I definitely think in our climate, my suggestion would be to not align yourself with a political person, because when they fall, it makes, when you have attached your identity to that person. Let's just use Donald Trump as an example. If it comes out and it's proven without a fact he was guilty, I feel like I would have no problem being like, hang him. No, but I think there's people that attach themselves really tightly to political figures, and so we want everything fair, and we want evidence, and that's also a biblical thing too, right? Like we want to stay away from gossip, and we want to seek truth, for sure. So, but I feel like we have to stop completely aligning ourselves with political figures. Like we've said this before a million times. Like when you make something like that your God, it's gonna fail. Like they're gonna fail,
right?
And then you're gonna take it personally, and then we just have this ugly divide.
This whole thing, you don't give blind allegiance to anybody but Jesus. I don't give my blind allegiance.
Yeah.
Blind allegiance? Are you kidding me? To a human being? No way. Now I believe in loyalty, and I believe in relational loyalty, and all that kind of stuff. But blind allegiance goes to Jesus. I'm going to follow him no matter what he says. Anybody else? You still have to weigh things. You still have to. Is this true? Is it not true? You know. So, I see people do that politically. They just give blind allegiance to a political figure or a political party, and I'm like,
Well, at the end of the day, it's idolatry. These people are seeing these figures, and then they see the good of them. And then when they do something wrong, it's like, oh shoot, like my whole world is twisted,
right?
Because you've been idolizing them as a god in a sense.
And in a sense, yeah,
right.
So
and almost as your savior.
Right.
Donald Trump's going to save America.
Yeah.
Really? Or whatever the other opposite political figure is. I mean, come on, folks. Quit looking for a person to save you.
Right.
So you kind of just set yourself up for a lot of disappointment and divisiveness. It's divisive. So I don't know. I hope the truth comes out. I hope that people are held accountable, and I hope that the government does what they're called to do, and that's exercise justice. I hope those things. And I hope that my cynical side is proven wrong. I will be the first to come on this podcast and go, I was wrong. Look what happened.
Yeah. You know what's crazy, too? You build trust with that. Like, there's certain people, again, not my blind allegiance, but there's only a few, like, voices where I'm like, oh, I really like them. They have come out and said, oh, you know what? I was wrong about this.
Yeah.
It builds my trust because I'm like, oh, yep, you addressed it. You're human. We can now move on, and I can trust that you're probably going to take accountability if you make a mistake.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything else on that?
Epstein. I guess more is to come.
Yeah.
We're going to wait until more is revealed, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. We'll have to have part 2.
We'll see what transpires. Yeah.
All right.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments, though. Join the conversation. Shoot us a message. We want to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
We want to hear what everybody's heads are at with all this stuff. So let's finish with some good news.
Good news. Let's do it.
I loved this story because it's a teen. So we have Juan Mendoza, who's 19, was driving with his girlfriend. Rainy Wednesday afternoon, southern Texas. He noticed a car spinning out. He stopped in the middle of the highway after it had collided. And apparently, without thinking twice, he just jumped right into action. He said, my first thought is that they could have kids and I have little brothers. And that thought came into me rushing, and I'm like, I'm going to go get them out. This is what he said. And so the people that were in the car that got in the accident, Juan Omata, who turns 80 this month, was driving home from a doctor's appointment with his wife, Adriana, when their car was stuck and sent spinning into the middle of the road. They said nobody stopped. He was the only one who stopped, and he was right there at the right moment when we needed him. So that's why I say he was my angel, the lady says. So there's videos of this accident, and they show him. He's actually a cook at the Texas Roadhouse this is near the border, but running into the middle of the road and moving debris away to help them get out of their car that was smoking. So And apparently he wants to be an EMT, and he received a scholarship. But
Wow.
I'm like, this is such like salt of the earth, just
good stuff.
That's so sweet.
yeah, I thought it was really
There
cool.
are some good Samaritans left who won't just grab their phone and record it. They'll actually get involved.
Thank the Lord, yes.
Right?
Yes, look for the helpers, Mr. Rogers says. They're out there. Yeah. But I love that too, because I was like, yeah, there's so many stories where people just record and
I know.
It's not, so anyways, yeah. A little treat to leave you guys
That's
with.
right. There you go.
Wow. Good job, Juan.
Yeah,
good job,
Juan. All right, guys. Well, I don't have anything else unless you do. Okay.
All right. Don't miss tomorrow's.
Yes, you're
It'll
gonna
be fun.
Some good Valentine
Let's
Q&A. It'll be a good one. Listen with your partner, and it'll be some good conversation starters.
And some good laughter.
It might make you blush, but
not me.
Yeah, not this guy. But we'll be
Definitely
back.
not this guy, right? Definitely not.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, see you guys.